All right guys, thanks for another installment. So we're going to do the exterior inspection. So if you have a claim that is exterior damages, so let's imagine this were a hurricane claim, we've just come off the roof and now we're going to walk around and inspect all of the exterior elevations for any damage whatsoever. Even if the insured did not specifically report any damages, we want to look and see if there are any. So here we are on the exterior elevation. This elevation happens to be facing south, so we would identify that on our recorder as this is the south elevation. We've got 3 windows and a single entry door, a small little porte-cochere here. So again, I've got fascia, I've got no damage to the fascia, I've got some lighting, again, no damage. So again, I've seen no damage at all in this exterior elevation. So we'll move now and we'll move around to the left, therefore getting the west elevation at this time. All right guys, so here we are on the west elevation. Again, making a look, I've got nothing on the fence. We'll come back to appurtenant structures a little later maybe. Again, stucco. I've got a regular 9-foot elevation here. Meter box looks fine. I've got 2 windows on this side and a patio door. I do see a light fixture that's actually off. We'll ask the insured once we're done with the inspection if this happened during the storm or not, so we'll get that update. Again, based on what I saw on the roof and the patio slider screen, it is unlikely that this was storm related just because of the sheer wind damage, the difference between the two. So again, on the west elevation, everything looks fine. Again, 2 windows and a regular patio door. Let's assume that there's some damage to this. We would want to get the width of this. So that is a 6-foot slider. I've got 3 soffit vents. Again, no damage at all to this side. So let's go ahead and move on, and we'll move on to the north elevation. All right guys, so coming around to the north side, again, I can tell by my wiring here that this is something systemic. So this is not something that the question that I was going to ask for the elevation on the west, because I see this wiring sticking out here, the chances of having 3 light fixtures blown off, again, highly improbable. So I'm not even going to bring that up in the inspection. Again, I've got a gable inspection here, or a gable elevation on this side, 1 window, and again, it looks to be another 6-foot patio slider. Let's double check. Again, that is in fact a 6-foot slider. Again, stucco, no damage to fascia, no damage to the soffit. I do have 2 recessed light fixtures. Again, both of those are not damaged. I've got a motion light in the corner. Again, nothing wrong there. Everything looks good here on this north elevation. So as I move over, this should be a return. So we're still going to call this elevation here that's a return. We're still going to call that the north elevation because it all still faces the north, even though technically this is east facing. So I do have an exterior door here. There's the old light fixtures that they haven't replaced yet. So into this corner, an exterior water heater. Again, I may want to make note of that from an underwriting inspection. The fact that there's a water heater outside is a little bit different than usual. So I might want to do a risk alert to the carrier about there being an exterior water heater outside. Certainly unusual. Again, I've got a window over here. It looks to be a new walk-in door. Again, no damage in all I see here. Air conditioning obviously is a brand new air conditioning unit. Looks to be a 4 or 5 ton. Again, everything appears to be working really well. One of the things that you will notice in an air conditioning, if we can find the serial number, is, so if we look down at the serial number of the air conditioning unit, if it were damaged, the numbers in the serial number show the tonnage for how big the unit is. Again, that'll depend on whether we need to match the air handler inside, whatever it may be. So if you've got anything involving the air conditioning unit, always try to get a shot with your video camera of this back here to show exactly what the damages are. But everything, this unit seems to be in good working order. So now we'll move along and get the final elevation, which is the east elevation. Let's move that way. So here on the east elevation, this is what we typically find in many of these. This was sort of a garage side or at some point in time. So we've got no windows at all. So we have literally just a rectangle here. Again, our elevation height is still the same. We've got a typical 9-foot elevation. Again, fascia no damaged, soffit no damage. I do have a recessed light fixture, again, not damaged at all. So this would have completed the exterior elevation inspection. So we know now what damages there are or are not for the damages. While I'm here, so remember the order of our inspection is gonna go roof, exterior elevation, typically appurtenant structures, and then we would move to the inside. So while we're here, let's look at the appurtenant structures that were here. So we've got a fence. So one of the things that we want to look at is that this fence seems very, very different than the fence that's on the north elevation or the west side. And so that tells me that this fence is actually probably not owned by our insured, or at the very minimum is a neighbored shared fence. So again, I've got a 6-foot stockade fence. I'm testing some of the posts. Those all seem to be in good order. I've got a 4-foot gate over here. Again, I'm just looking for visible signs of wind damage. Again, we're acting as if this were a hurricane claim. So this fence, there's no damage. Again, the one on the east side. If we go to the elevation that's on the north, again, we'll see that there's a hedgerow here. And as I said, this is a different fence type than is on that side. So again, I've got a chain link fence here based on the hedges, and they're all still standing up. I don't think I have any real damages there. And again, finally looking at the stockade fence on my other side. Again, if you notice all of the posts and the age of the fences, this too would be an example of a fence that appears to be one that is owned by the neighbor. Again, we want to check it just to make sure. This is a box type shadow fence. Again, posts appear to be in very good condition. All looks well with the appurtenant structures here on the outside. So we've now done a thorough exterior inspection, roof, elevation, each elevation, and the fence line. Now let's go inside and see if there's any damage inside.